Well, for more on this, I'm joined by John Pontifex from Aid to the Church in Need, a Catholic organisation that offers help to Christians facing persecution. Thank you very much for coming in, John. So, first of all, you've been a part of the campaign to free Asia. What's been her reaction to the Supreme Court ruling?
Well, the reports we've received were to say that she was absolutely ecstatic and she couldn't really believe what it was that she was being told. And if you can imagine, if you've been in solitary confinement for that period of time, the adjustment that she has to make to a new life outside the four walls of her confined situation are such that it's quite mind-boggling to contemplate a new world.
And also, you've been in contact with her family. What does the future hold for them?
It's a very delicate time at the moment for the simple reason that really we don't know quite at what stage they will be reunited with Asia, and really we don't know what future they will have outside of Pakistan. It's clear that they have the capacity now to leave the country, but the question is very much to the fore as to which country will eventually be the host for them. At this particular point in time, it's too early to really indicate how things will develop. And obviously the security situation which you've described there is such that it's very dangerous for them to forecast with any degree of certainty quite how things will unfold here on in.
So, John, the incident that she was sentenced for happened in 2009. Can you take us back to 2009 and remind our viewers what happened there?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to hear firsthand about what happened through Asia's daughter, Isham, who recently came over to this country as a guest of Aid to the Church in Need with her father, the husband of Asia Bibi, and she told us what happened, that essentially her mother was involved in picking berries over in Pakistan, and she goes to take a drink of water, and it's presumed by those Muslim women with whom she's working that it's not proper for a Christian woman to take water from water that they themselves are drinking from, and they accuse her of defiling the water, and there then begins what is described as an altercation, which leads to this accusation of blasphemy. An accusation which quickly turned it into a charge of blasphemy, and so it was that in 2010 she was found guilty of blasphemy and the death penalty in place there.
Yes, and it's really hard to grasp really what it is. So tell us more about this blasphemy law, which dates back from British colonial period.
Yes, the blasphemy laws that are the centre of this particular case actually were introduced in the time of Zia al-Haq, the Premier of Pakistan in the 70s and 80s, who introduced a series of laws which are now known as the blasphemy laws. And of particular note here is 295C, which insists on death penalty for anyone defaming the Prophet Muhammad, which is of course what Asia is accused of doing.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and for that insight there, John Pontifex.
Thank you.
Divers with the Indonesian Navy are ramping up their search for a second black box in the wreckage of the Lion Air plane that crashed into the Java Sea. Investigators have already found a flight data recorder. All 189 people on board flight JT610 are presumed dead. Natasha Hussein reports.
Strong currents are making it hard for these divers to find what they're looking for. The cockpit voice recorder from Lion Air flight JT610.
We will use all means necessary, all technology available, and work quickly in our recovery operation. The equipment being used in our efforts is very high-tech. They include detection technology, sonar scans, and underwater cameras.
Finding